Not done one of these for a while. Probably because I just haven't felt like it. Defo did a relapse and just disappeared where time disappeared, and so I don't know how long I've been out for. Don't know when the last one was. I'll have to check when I actually upload this and have a look. But what what inspires me to do this now? Well, I guess because there's a similar friend, or not a similar friend, who's in a similar position to me, but a lot worse, to be honest. A lot worse. She's, I don't know, I fear for her, I worry about her. She's very, I think she's very, very vulnerable. She is prone to fall for a certain type of guy, and the relationships usually end up going a certain type of way. Um, and she's been in a really bad situation abroad, been locked up in a facility. And this was all, whilst I sort of wasn't near her. I sort of kept that type of thing not happening for 4 years. And then as soon as I left, she sort of replaces me with a love interest. We're not love interests, although there is. I do find her attractive, but I just think it would just be a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. But anyway, that's all beside the point. I think she just texted me now actually because I've just been impressing upon her that we were supposed to be going for a walk today, and she's jibbed me off. I think because I've been up since like 8:30 saying, okay, I'm ready to go. It's now approaching 1 o'clock. I've had a little sleep in between then, because I think I got up a little bit too early. I got up at 6 o'clock actually, and then stayed awake until 10, and then hoping that she would sort of respond and let me know what time would be a good time to head off. But she didn't do that, and so I woke up again. I had 2 hours kip, which is a good sleep, and now hopefully that's her texting me back. I've just sent her a barrage of texts like, "Oh, is this a revenge jib?" Because jibbing is when you sort of sack someone off, when you say, "Oh, to hell with you, I'm not gonna do this." You forget about them, you ignore them, you ghost them, I guess, you jib them. And so like she's never jibbed me. I mean, like, it's not an intentional. You can intentional or non-intentional jib. An unintentional jib is like, I just need to jib this I just can't go. I'm too self-conscious, too ashamed. I can't. Or I feel too depressed to go out, and just like I can't do it. And you just jib, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a person. Could be an event, an occasion, or an opportunity that is maybe good, and you don't feel the confidence enough to take hold of it and take advantage of it. So you can jib lots of different things off, and so I just texted her to say, "Is this the first jib?" I mean, actually, for the first text was "revenge jib!" exclamation mark, and I was like, follow that up with, "I don't think you've ever jibbed me off before. This is like new. I'm the one who does the jibbing. I'm the jibmeister." And so there was still no reply, and I think I sent another message. I think I sent four altogether. Maybe it was three, but the third one was sort of two in one. But the last one was something like, "I will definitely see you today, even if I have to embarrass myself or things get messy." Something like that, just like being a little bit insistent. And you know what I mean? That you want to see someone. And it's just a little bit, the situation of the fact that this is, I think it's sort of partly you could say it's my fault. It's not my fault. Clearly, it's not my fault because we were in a similar situation, and over the last few days, we've been sharing our stories of how fucked we are. Because we're still fucked. I still haven't got a job, and so on. Although like that front is sort of looking up, but we'll forget that for the time being. The Yeah, we were, but she's really fucked though. She's really fucked. She's got like shitloads of bills to pay. She's been milking sort of like for family and friends. She's been really milking like multiple friends, parents and stuff for their literal. But like her demands, her well, not demands, but the money she needs in order to just to sustain herself will far exceed um anything that I can live on fucking nothing. Um, I can't live on nothing but I can relatively in comparison to what she needs. It's just a fraction because she's got sort of like she's a big alcoholic as well, so she needs to have booze every day, and she smokes as well. So like when I go around there, it's usually not a good idea for me to go around there because those two things. Although it's nice to have a drink, I enjoy having a drink. I've never been an alcoholic. I've never felt the pull of it. It's never had too much of a sway over me. But we were sort of talking about our situations and like that. We were having like the last couple of days. We had absolutely mammoth phone conversations, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I don't talk. There's no one I want to stay on the phone with for that long. There's just no one I've got that much in common with. Um, there's just literally zero people at all. So it was refreshing. It's nice and refreshing, but also surprising to find myself just like this conversation carrying on. And it was for her too. And we sort of joke about it like this, look at us, and so on. But then, at that point, I was feeling really rotten, smoking cigarettes again. And when the cigarettes involved, that means just that everything's gone to shit, even though there might be a brave face on the go. But then the next day, I just sort of switched myself off, and switched the willpower back on again. The no cigarettes was sort of, or vaping was consumed. No chess. I don't think any chess. There was a little bit of chess watched. Bit of Peter Svidler explain, having a bit of banter blitz, but there's just something very like you can't get into chess and do real life at the same time. The two are like oil and water. They just don't mix, which is quite curious. Do you know what I mean? I just can't. If I'm doing real life and doing all these other things, I just cannot think about chess at all. I can't relax because it's an all or nothing pursuit. Chess. You literally just devote your mind to it, and that's it. And you love it, and you come out of it, and you've got some ways of thinking, pathways, some lines that can actually somehow be used in real life, in certain situations and patterns and so on. But anyway, I think looking back now, this is what prompted me to sort of make this recording. I think with hindsight, it was a little bit of an error for me to yesterday send my friend like a massive, just literally a massive text message, and she asked how I've been. And it was in complete contrast to what we've been talking about the previous day. And it was the truth. It was the truth. And I told her all this, and I'd be catching up with this. I haven't done this. I've abstained from this, and I've detailing a log of absolute, self control and self mastery and autonomy and so on. And I just think that she was quite amazed. She sort of was quite shocked. But then after the sort of initial, oh wow, you're really doing it. You've had a fucking badass day, and then it gradually turns to much better than me, and then I've had such and such. I'm totally fucked. still that person's on the same page. And so with a little bit of oversight, a little bit of hindsight, just a bit of like, I don't know, just judgment, a bit of common sense, to be fair. I wouldn't have like been so open and it's just literally just day and night telling her exactly how I'd been feeling, because I'm manic and so on, but like being a person who has to sort of look, it's like you're on your you and your friends start like learning something, and you feel you're on the same level developing, and then you sort of spend the day away from each other, and the next time you come back, your mate's an expert in it, and you're just like still bumbling around with the fucking basics, like twiddling your thumbs like a rank amateur, and it just makes you feel a bit like, you know what I mean? You're just not as good as them, or you make you feel shit about yourself. Ultimately, is what the outcome is. You feel shit about yourself, inadequate. Why can't I do it? Why can't I do that? Why can't I achieve the same results what they got that I've not got? And so on, and you get racked with all these brains. So I just think that, in retrospect, it would have been smart for me to just keep a lid on it. No, feel the positivity. It's just 'cause it doesn't change the facts. All it's done now is just create an additional thing to navigate, an additional situation to sort of navigate. And although I don't feel guilty for telling her the truth, and I shouldn't feel guilty, and she wouldn't want me to sort of feel like that, you can't help it if you're low. If you're low, to look at a friend who's just suddenly, it seems, got their life in order overnight. That's not going to feel good, and it's not. That's not the case. That's not the truth. I've not done that at all. It's a momentary thing. It's like when my dad was in his hospital bed, and one day he was completely, non-compass mentis. He wasn't making sense, and later that afternoon they injected him with some powerful steroid, and it was like his old self cracking jokes, holding the fort, and just like. Holding everyone's attention and just reminiscing, and everyone's like, shit, this is weird. It was weird, actually. That was strange. But Mum could see through it straight away at the time, and I was like, I actually got some not comfort, but I got some, I don't know, I always sort of took anything that was, anything that was going, any sort of shift, positive shift. I was like, yeah, I'll have that. This could work out well. This could be good. But she always was like, all about like, this is just a mirage. It's the next day is gonna be, and then the next day it was sort of a little bit less of that vitality, a little bit less of that sharp thinking, and then gradually, we know what happened. It's just the person wears away, and their experience just becomes gradually. Blunted and tempered, but until it's just disappears, it just vanishes. But yeah, so that's basically what prompted me to record this. Was, with a bit of hindsight, next time I would hold back from sharing with my friend who was in a similar situation, i.e. we're both in the fucking gutter. I would hold back a bit, and then feed, like a little drip of the good news, or just use the positivity that I feel to try and edge them up a little bit and get them a little ahead. But you know what I mean? Just something like that, instead of, oh well, I'm on top of the world, everything's going well swimmingly for me. It's just it could come across as being insensitive. It's not, but it's a little bit. It could, with a little bit of forethought. It's a missed opportunity, I think, at the end of the day. But hey ho, life goes on. I've got to read this text that she's just sent me.